Because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court. I travel not for business and commerce. I just...
Same thing. Same thing.
If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened.
All right, guys, today we got one of the most clueless sovereign citizens I've ever seen. Somehow, this guy managed to rack up 17 tickets from a single traffic stop, and yet he's sitting in court acting like he's not even the defendant. Seriously, how does something like this even happen? But don't worry, by the end, the judge completely shuts him down, and trust me, you won't want to miss that. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts as you watch. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think this guy's IQ is? Because after seeing this, I'm giving him a solid 2. Now let's dive in and see what charges this guy just got slapped with.
Count 1, drove while license suspended. Count 2, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2, furnish false forged info to police officer. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Count 1, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket is drove while unlicensed.
17 different citations. This guy is out here collecting them like Pokemon cards. I swear he might actually be the final boss of sovereign citizens. Honestly, I'm not even sure if he can count to 17, yet somehow he managed to rack up 17 violations like it was some kind of achievement. But enough talk. Let's dive in and see what this sovereign citizen has to say for himself.
Aaron Ruck on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to the counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on special appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cat that says on my ticket.
Okay. All right. So do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you need an offer? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, because the U.S. Constitution totally gives you the right to commit crimes and then pretend you don't exist in court, all because your name is in all caps. Somebody please make it make sense. If any of you actually understand what this guy is talking about, let me know in the comments because I'm completely lost. These sovereign citizens really think they can just waltz into court, throw out some legal nonsense, and magically walk away. But guess what? That's not a thing. Courts have shut this down over and over again. Just ask the judges in United States v. Harwell or United States v. Cooper. At this point, these people are just mocking the court. They call themselves U.S. nationals or sovereign citizens, but it all comes down to the same excuse. They simply don't want to be held accountable for their actions. What do you guys think? Is this guy for real, or is he just playing dumb to dodge his tickets? Let's dive back in.
So if you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled. I have a passport, and I'm traveling. I don't drive. I just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce. I just
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, all 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So, Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if you don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't drive.
Go ahead.
For the record,
Okay.
I don't drive.
Okay. So how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay. All right. So would you like me to get you a... Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
Boom. Now that's what I like to see. This prosecutor is not playing around, and honestly, she needs to take over for a minute and handle this clown, because he's making an absolute joke of the courtroom right now. She completely hit him with a McDrop moment. If this sovereign citizen insists he's not the one on the ticket, then fine, let's just file a warrant for the person whose name is on it. I love when judges don't entertain this nonsense. Now, I just hope the judge actually takes her advice, because at this rate, the entire docket is going to be backed up by the time this guy's hearing is over. What do you guys think? Did she go too far, or was this exactly what needed to happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive back in.
Mr. Williams, on these tickets?
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
If you assume, yes.
Oh.
I stand.
So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no?
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by imprisonment if I don't agree to these tickets.
Who's going to send you to prison? I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issued a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but you're not going to get arrested. But she's saying if you're not going to say that you're the person on these tickets. Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm going to skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out. Then I'm going to give you all the time in the world, and we're going to figure out what to do with you today, okay? I don't mind taking the time, but I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give me a moment.
And now this genius has to wait 3 more hours just to be heard again. What a way to spend your day, right? But trust me, this next part is pure gold. The judge literally talks to him like he's 5 years old, breaking it down step by step, like she's explaining how to tie his shoes. Honestly, it's like watching a kid get told no by their mom, but this guy is acting like it's some high-stakes legal battle. Let's dive in and watch the rest of this unfold. So are we calling it?
We calling the matter of the people versus Timothy Talley Williams. These matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount of time to be able to have and all of his questions answered about the matters that are before this court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir. Now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered in exchange. He did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this sorted out today. That's,
right. So so the options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That gives you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations will have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the three, or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time to the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and it just remains there. And then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
So I said,
rights, and I don't understand what's going on. So
okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was just taking it in my own hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I being took for this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme Court. So,
Of Michigan?
Of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
Wrong answer, buddy. The Constitution literally gives states the power to handle civil matters like traffic violations under the 10th Amendment. That's right. States have the authority to pass and enforce laws, even if you think you're somehow exempt because of some sovereign citizen nonsense. And let's not forget the full faith and credit clause, which requires states to honor each other's public records. You know, like traffic tickets. Something tells me this guy had no clue about any of this, but then again, they probably don't cover this in U2 law school. What do you guys think? Does this sovereign citizen actually believe he found some magical loophole, or is he just delusional enough to buy into his own nonsense? Let's dive back in.
All right, they won't have jurisdiction over local matters, though. And that's going to be the problem. You're going to run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right. So if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national. What jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the jurisdiction.
So that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. It's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
It is. Now my status is corrected.
That's going to wrap up this nonsense for now. This guy actually decided to take his case to pretrial, so we'll definitely be seeing him again. Apparently, he thinks he's some kind of legal mastermind, but let's be real. Pushing these arguments with a straight face is either delusional or just fully committed to the bit. Honestly, the judge was pretty lenient with him. In my opinion, she could have shut him down way earlier instead of letting him ramble on about how traffic laws don't apply to him. Spoiler alert, they do. A tougher judge might have cut him off the moment he started spouting that sovereign citizen nonsense. But maybe that was for strategy, giving him enough room to completely embarrass himself. What do you guys think? Did the judge handle this the right way, or should she have been more no-nonsense? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I post every single day, so stay tuned for more wild court hearings just like this one. I truly appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.